All right, I'm here today with Saul Klein. Hey, Saul.
How you doing, Jennifer? Good to see you.
Great. You too. So Saul's been in real estate and been a broker for over 40 years. So you have seen it all.
Well, I don't know about all, but
Most of it.
I've seen a lot for sure.
You definitely, and you're, if people know you, they know that you're a big technology guy in and around real estate, proponent of getting the listings onto the internet and all that. But what we want to talk to you today is we want to talk about RPAC. What what the heck is it, man?
Yeah, yeah, the realtors pack. It's
Yeah.
it is, and a lot of entities have their political action committees,
Yes.
and NAR has its own. So before though, I think we get any a discussion into a pack. A lot of people need to kind of understand when we say organized real estate, what do we mean?
Okay.
Right? That it's actually three different levels. It's organized at three different levels. It's
Okay.
local level, state level, national level.
Okay.
Every local association is a separate corporate entity. Every state entity a separate corporate entity. It's kind of like, think of a franchise
Yes.
where the term
Okay.
realtor is owned by NAR, and then local, state, and local entities are chartered to use that brand
And
and to
that's why
follow
we
certain.
have to pay locally and nationally.
Then there's something called a three-way agreement that makes it easy for that to take place, right? For you pay locally and you get to belong to all three. And most people don't take the time to actually get it and understand. So first important thing to know is that all these entities are separate. And while they might have certain things they do the same, you're going
Mhm.
to find different ones from state to state, city to city. Because NAR does something, that doesn't mean that the local association does something necessarily, right? Because the
Right.
local association, these are all separate corporate entities,
Wow. Yeah, I
right?
never really I knew that like logically, but I never really like thought about it.
Yeah,
That's
so when you start thinking about bringing it all together,
yeah,
particularly when I see people want to lay blame for certain things, it's really a difficult thing because these are all
right,
disjointed, maybe, right?
right.
Stratified. So that's the first thing, that is just to understand organized real estate. And I did a piece on this, and I don't know, I can get you the link, where I actually did this in 2 or 3 videos to make it easy for people to understand organized real estate. So now we talk about RPAC, a political action committee,
Okay.
and that is a separate entity, and its purpose. And what is the purpose of NAR? We look at this: under all is the land. And if you haven't looked at the preamble to the Code of Ethics lately, I think it's really important,
Mhm.
upon its wise utilization. And then
You
there are
put
private.
the videos that you did on the preamble, I did put online so people can access them. It's at jennifermertlin.com/vault and they're in there.
Perfect. Perfect. Because if you have a passion for real estate, and that's what I have, a passion
You
for real
definitely
estate.
do.
Right? I love it. I own it. I buy it. I trade it. I did all that stuff. I learned from an old real estate broker. His name, we called him Fuzzy, not to his face, but he was like your old time real estate broker guy, right? He would broker all kinds. He'd broker fruit from the Imperial Valley.
Yes.
And so near and dear to my heart is the things that I've seen people, myself included. I didn't have a lot of assets, and I was able to accumulate a lot of assets over my working life
Mhm.
from nothing,
Right.
right? Right. From because I understood. So I love real estate and what it can do for people. And I believe in private property rights. A lot of people don't anymore. And so who's sticking up for private property rights? We've got rent control. We've got many things that really are detrimental to the practice of real estate and to the owner of real estate.
Mhm.
We're going to see major benefits that we've seen in the past that we always thought were good for real estate and the ownership of real estate, like elevated basis upon death, and like estate taxes. We're going to see pressure to move those things away from people. And so property rights are going to be challenged more than ever before. Who sticks up for property owners? Who sticks up for the
Yeah.
people that sell real estate? And the answer is RPAC does.
What
And
if is there ever a time when if RPAC is for the consumers and for the agents, is there ever a time that those aren't in alignment?
well, so RPAC is not dues money, it's volunteer money, and it's to support candidates. It's to
Okay.
support candidates, right? And so what candidates, we at NAR, we talk, and I'm a NAR, I'm a member of NAR, I'm a realtor, I'm a broker, I'm licensed, I've been licensed for 44 years. I'm a member of NAR. I'm also a contributor to RPAC. I'm
Mhm.
what they call a major contributor. this year at the end of the year, I hit that $50,000 thing limit, right? That's the
Ooh.
second. That's like for
Get a
me,
plaque?
for contributing to a PAC because I believe in what it stands for and what I get to choose the candidates. Just yesterday, I chose the first candidate for this year that I was going to support. And there are people who support the real estate causes, people who have a record of supporting real estate. How do we know what realtors support and don't support? It comes in from the local level, because you've got your legislative advocacy committees at the local level that are
Right.
realtors that participate in the city, and you have it at the state, and it all goes up to the national level. So RPAC today, I was able to choose a candidate, or no, not a candidate, in this case, people that are in office, based on whether or not NAR gives us a slate, Democrat and Republican.
Okay.
And you can choose whoever you want, Democrat
Okay.
or Republican, and you can donate your money, and you can participate at different levels. And so the level I participated in today was called the President's Circle.
Okay.
And that's a $2,000 a year obligation to give either $2,000 all at once or $500 to different candidates wherever you want around the country that support realtor causes. They could be Democrat or Republican. And I can tell you over the years, if I went through and saw how much I contributed to which party, and it would probably be pretty close to even.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't really care whether someone's a Democrat or Republican if they're voting to support a property right that I believe in.
The issues, right? So
Right?
if you contribute to our PAC, then you get a vote. Is that what I'm hearing?
If you contribute to RPAC, then it depends on the level. You can actually say where you want your dollars to go.
Interesting.
Right? And it's the candidates.
It's candidates.
It's the
But what if
so,
like half the people choose one candidate and the other half choose the other?
well, they actually, remember, NAR runs we have a great lobbying team and a great lobbying effort, and the best people. And you're going to look at some of the people that do this for NAR. They're top of the line. So there's it's a program and a schedule. In other words, it can't get lopsided.
Okay.
Right? As a matter of fact, they'll close out. It might be somebody, I want to contribute to that person, but they've already hit the limit that NAR says, nope, we're already right. That has to fall within certain guidelines.
Okay.
And that's okay, because there's enough choice. Because the concept is, what we're trying to do is advance realtor issues.
Okay.
Right, through these candidates that support the things that realtors.
So what are some of the issues that they're talking about now that they're fighting?
I would say they're probably looking at tax things. You're probably looking at people who are interested in bringing back the home interest deduction in a different way. People who are interested in bringing back, right? People are
What if the candidate that like wins or gets the most contribution is not the same candidate that's aligned with the issues? Like, is there ever? Go ahead.
No, because the people who are presented to us as a slate are people whose voting records indicate that they should have our support, right? Okay. And enough of it across enough of a political spectrum, so that there are enough people across many political spectrums who support the things that we support, that we can come together on those things and support those people, right? And so that's just one of RPAC's programs. So RPAC is the NAR collects money through local, state, and at the national level voluntarily. People contribute, and then that money is utilized for to move forward the political
agenda,
private property rights agenda of realtors, all set by the NAR board of directors, who are all realtors, or the state boards of directors, who are all realtors, or the local association of realtors. They're all realtors. I don't participate at the board of directors, but there were years when I sat on my board of directors at my local board of realtors, and I was the state director, and I knew all those people, fine people, real estate practitioners, professional people that also volunteered. And I always believed in California, we had the best forms of any place in the country. And that we had these, and you needed to be, because there's such a litigious state, man. We just had the greatest. And how did these forms get created? They got created by these brokers that participated on the forms committee, who all got sued for different things over the years.
Right.
And who all had to turn, and they would bring all this knowledge and expertise to, right? So we create these things. really protect everybody. That came from this stuff comes from the field. And so there's value in association, and the political side is RPAC. In my mind, well worth supporting. I've done it for years. I've seen the result. I've also seen the results locally of what our local association does in pushing back business license taxes. And when we had issues with mini dorms, and right, there's all kinds of local issues that your local association will do. And at the state level, pushing back things that we didn't want to see happen, or holding it from crushing us, right, as the state wants to do things. So, but these are unseen by most people on a daily basis.
Yeah, I guess we wouldn't. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, I mean, obviously, I've heard of it. I understand it in concept, right? It's to push the agenda of the realtors. But it just doesn't seem like there's a lot.
So I think the guiding light is it revolves around private property rights.
Okay.
You just that's your guiding star, private property rights.
Okay, right? Gotcha.
So it's not about, if we're realtors and we agree with this statement under all, is if we believe that, then there's lots of stuff that we're going to see, and there's not, right? And if we look at it issue by issue without the private property rights piece, it can become disjointed, right?
Got it.
And also there's just a lot of not a lot of knowledge about what goes on, because it's time consuming.
Right.
I know realtors that go to the city council meetings.
Yeah.
They go to the meeting. They do that. They go to Sacramento. They go knock on the doors of the legislators. They're active. When we go to Washington, D.C., they go visit the Congress people. They are on a first name basis with the Congress people.
Yeah.
Right. And it's all to be able to, grassroots. It's one thing to donate money to a congressperson. It's another thing to be in their face.
Right, exactly.
And so RPAC is a lot more than just the money. It's grassroots. And that's one of the things the realtor organization does better than any other organization, because realtors are volunteers, right? They're used to it.
Right. Exactly. That's so true. Well, that is interesting. It's still like a bit confusing, and I think you're right. It just takes a lot of like kind of homework and due diligence and stuff, but it's something that we don't really talk about a lot. So it's nice to talk about it and get, your perspective on it. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. I'm a big supporter of RPAC. That's from a realtor perspective, the one thing. There are a lot of things I disagree with when it comes to what NAR does and how they do it. I'm just as big a critic as anybody else. But when it comes to the politics of private property and private property rights, and
you want to keep those.
I want to keep those.
Yeah, I get that. Right. Cool. Well, if somebody has a question for you, or wants to reach out, what's the best way?
They can send an email to Saul at saulklein.com, SAUL, KLEIN.com. They can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me on Real Talk on Facebook. We're like, I try to be.
I like that, because you talk about a lot of different issues and stuff. And I like how you give kind of some of the history around it. It's not just like one statement. You like create the context. So it's really interesting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, try not to judge it. Just try to create a context.
Yeah, exactly.
And people can put stuff in, and people make up their own minds, right?
Right. Exactly. Cool. Well, thanks a lot for being on, Saul.
Yeah, you bet. My pleasure.